those people would not only have to be released into the world, but in addition, they would have to spread out in all directions, implying that with their indestructible power, they'll take control of the world, the sea, the land, even the air. When that happens, then that will be a unique event in history. It would not have ever happened before in history. When that moment came, then those people would be brought back to that town to reclaim it as their own. Those people are Gog and Magog.
Fascinating. And Gog and Magog, I don't believe that they're mentioned in the Jewish or Christian scriptures. Are they, or are they just mentioned in the Quran?
Oh, they are.
Oh, they are. Okay.
They are in the Torah. Yes, they are in the.
I'm revealing my own ignorance in comparative religion right now.
No, they are in the Christian scriptures. They are in the Old Testament.
Interesting.
And there's quite some parallel between what is to be found in the previous scriptures and what is to be found in the Quran. Quite some parallel. There are also some important points of difference. Gog and Magog are related to the subject of the Antichrist, because he is an individual created by Almighty God who would appear in the form of a human being, although he is not himself a human being, because human beings would die and then will have to be resurrected and will then have to be judged and would then be punished with hell or rewarded with heaven, but not this individual. He is programmed, if I may be able to use computer language, programmed by the Creator to pursue and to fulfill a particular function. And that is connected with the divine promise to send into the world one who will be known as the Messiah, and whose function it would be to bring back that golden age when the religion of Abraham ruled the world from the holy state of Israel in the time of David and of Solomon. God's blessings be upon them both. That golden age when Israel was the ruling state in the world, that golden age would come back one more time when the Messiah comes and the truth would triumph over all rivals, the truth being the religion of Abraham. When God sent the Messiah, however, he sent the Messiah in a manner which subjected the Israelite people to a supreme test. The Messiah was sent as the son of a virgin mother. Had they seen with two eyes, the internal as well as the external, they would not have been so quick to pass judgment on Mary. They would have asked themselves, well, why should a girl who is the most famous, the most learned, the most pious in all the land, a girl with whom a miracle is associated of getting food in the temple, why should she, if she had committed a vile act of fornication, and a baby had been born, no one knew that she had been pregnant. No one knew that the baby had been born. Why should she come back to her people with the baby? She should have done what normally would be done by those who want to conceal their sin, try to get rid of the baby. But she came back with the baby. She came back holding the baby in her arms. So there should have been cause for them to pause and think before they passed judgment. In fact, they were being tested and they failed the test when they said that this was a bastard. And then when the baby grew up to be a child and the baby started performing miracles, they said, this is magic. In fact, the baby spoke in the cradle as well. Said, this is magic. And then she had to take the baby away because the baby's life would have been in danger. When the baby came back as a man and declared that I am the Messiah, and then started to expose all their wickedness and all their evil, they had corrupted the religion. Then they decided that this man must be executed because he was blaspheming blaspheming, declaring that he was the Messiah. And they forced the hand of the Roman government. And when they saw him die on the cross, they were absolutely convinced now he could not have been the Messiah. Why? Because he's dead. He never ruled the world. The golden age never came back. The state of Israel is still under Roman occupation.
Well, let me ask a quick question here, if I may. The Surah of Miriam, or of Mary, the mother of Jesus or Isa, is of course one of the most beautiful passages in the Quran, and recognized as such by non-Muslims as well. So of course that beautiful story is part of our tradition as well as the Jews, or rather the Christians' tradition. But there are passages in the Quran that suggest that Jesus was not crucified, but that they crucified an illusion. Isn't that the case? And what's your interpretation of that?
They saw with their eyes. They saw him crucified. They saw him die. And this was what caused them to be absolutely convinced that he could not have been the Messiah. In fact, no one knew what really happened. The appearance was that of death on the cross. That was the appearance. The reality, however, was something else, and no one knew that reality for 600 years. It was only when the Quran was revealed 600 years later that for the first time mankind knew of what happened.
You know, a theme I'm hearing from you repeatedly is this difference between appearance and reality, and how reality has to be understood with the heart, which is an organ of cognition, not just circulation of the blood. And how do you think people can develop the ability to perceive with the heart?
Well, first of all, there must be integrity. You cannot be false to yourself. You cannot be committing acts of oppression. You cannot be telling monstrous lies that Arabs and Muslims planned and executed the attack on America on 9/11 and expect to get anything else but darkness in your heart. When there is internal integrity within the heart, you are a person who stands up for that which is right and stands up against that which is wrong, then you are on the road towards getting light in the heart. The great scientists of the world, most major scientific achievements were made on the basis of an intuitive flash. But that intuitive flash came to that man because he labored in his struggle for knowledge. And he showed integrity in that pursuit of knowledge. And then because of that internal integrity, which the American government has lost, the British government has lost, and most of the Jews who support the state of Israel have totally lost it, that internal integrity. And so there are people who have eyes and they can't see. They're on a road of no return, and they're taking all of mankind to a disaster that they can't even see themselves. But if you have internal integrity, then you're on the road to light. Of course, to get the total light, you have to embrace the truth. But internal integrity helps you to arrive at the truth. You read the life of the Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessing be upon him, and you read the Quran, and you are able to achieve that this is the truth. And this is a truth which confirms truth which came before it. And then when you have that faith in your heart in the one God, you no longer have faith in a mango tree or in the state as sovereign, but it's the one God, then the light comes into you. Of course, you have to be righteous in your conduct. And righteousness today means standing up to the oppressor and standing up for the oppressed of the world. If you're not doing that and you go into the church and you go into the temple, you go into the masjid, what's the worth of that worship?
I know that many people in the 9/11 Truth Movement have seen standing up for the truth of this matter, which is such an overwhelming and emotionally charged matter, to be a path of sort of spiritual advancement for them, and with trials and tests. Have you followed the development of the 9/11 Truth Movement, which unfortunately is mostly non-Muslim? There aren't very many Muslims who have contributed to it in a major way. What's your feeling on that?